foremost, I'd like to thank all of you for coming out here today. It's a long ceremony, and I've sat where you are. It's a pain. Luckily, it's cold in here. It's very hot in the church usually. I'd also like to thank anyone who helped with my project, anyone at all. Whether you came out to shop or to help make baskets or came out to the veterans home. I'd like to thank the ladies who worked at St. Albans who made the project possible. Ms. Lisa Cummings and Wanda. I'd like to thank anyone who donated to the project. I'd like to thank the Korean War veterans of Chapter 171, the group which my grandfather was a part of, and made a large donation towards my project. And I'd like to thank my Aunt Eleanor, and my Nona, and all the other people who helped knit and make blankets for my project. Yep. And I'd also like to thank my mother and father. I wouldn't be up here without you, and that's because you kept on pushing me. We'll use the word pushing for now. Okay. Now onto my time as a scout. I joined Troop 544 in 2010, but after a year I decided to change troops and join Troop 45. Although I wasn't from the neighborhood and nobody knew me, I was greatly welcomed and treated as a friend like I knew everyone for years. I have so many fond memories of the past 6 years. Easily one of the most memorable is my very strenuous trip to the Bahamas. I had no clue that when I signed up for the trip that our captains would be an old bickering couple. The boat's owners, Andy and Barbara, got along fine, but Mr. Durham and Mr. Becker were constantly fighting over the boat's Wi-Fi. But I will fully admit that the project was not very tough, and it was more of a vacation, but it still makes it memorable nonetheless. Many people say, oh, I hiked through Canada, and that makes it better. Not even. I'm just saying. They're both good in their own right. Another great memory I made was all of our trips to West Point, the West Point camporees. Last year, Theo and I had the opportunity to go up early and set up for the troop site. It was just me and him. After pulling all the troops' materials down to the site, my shoulders hurt for weeks. Okay, yeah. Another very important trip to me was our trip to Hershey Park. Once again, not a hard trip, very easy. We went on rides all day. But it was that one of my first trips after joining the troop, that I felt welcome, and I really felt that I had been accepted fully into the family. It was in that car ride, Mr. Carr's car, on the way home, that with many of the people who were on stage too. Sarno was there, Theo was there, Brand was there, Chris was there, a lot of my good friends. I like to think at that point, that's really where I felt our friendship started. Another memorable trip to me is our trip to DC and Gettysburg. I'd like to thank my father for organizing the trip to DC, by the way. I've always loved road trips, and those trips were exactly that. Walking through the battlefields of Gettysburg, seeing all the memorials was just eye-opening. And joining my peers and pretending to shoot down a helicopter with actually filming us for national TV was kind of embarrassing, but funny nonetheless. In Washington, our trip had great tours of all the memorials and museums. We also visited Annapolis Naval Academy for a tour, and we also went to a morning mass. Nothing is funnier than sitting next to Sam Levitin, one of the few Jewish people in the troop, at an evangelical mass as they explain the evils of those who do not believe in Jesus. Now, if you can't tell from looking at me and what my speech has been saying, I'm not one for strenuous trips, I'm not. But I've always been the kind of person who prefers to deepen a friendship over a conversation than a long hike. However, my all-time favorite scouting memory has to be one of the most strenuous moments in my life, which is when we swept the Klondike Derby while I was SPL. Now, before anyone calls me out, I know there's people out there who are going to say, Joe, you were only SPL for 4 months. Most of that was done under Chris. I completely agree. I like to give Chris all the credit for everyone's training and ability that year. But just knowing that I wasn't the SPL who ruined our 85-year winning streak, it meant a lot to me knowing that I wasn't the one who messed up. These memories and bonds of friendship along with the skills Scouts has taught me, really shaped me as to who I am. Without a doubt, Scouting is an amazing program that really helps young men mature and get ready for the real world beyond this church basement. Pretend we're in the church basement. I would like to end by thanking all of my former patrol leaders, senior patrol leaders, ex-LC members, and any Scout who helped me reach the rank of Eagle. I'd also like to thank all the adult leaders, the merit badge counselors, and especially Mr. G for being the greatest Scoutmaster anyone could ask for. I'd also like to thank Mrs. G for opening up her house on rebar meetings and the Memorial Day barbecue coming up. But there's one person I have to thank above all else. They really helped me for years longer than I was a Scout. Always a voice to talk to, and a philosophical guide through my life. I would like to thank my uncle and godfather, Joseph DiSunno. I'd like to present you with my mentor pin. That's it.